Let's start at the beginning. The Knight of Cups. And I am feeling like this is a person. You've got a lot of people happening here. So there may be a lot of opinions on what you're doing and how you're doing it. So the Knight of Cups. This does feel like a male valence. Knights are someone, not a teenager. So they could be a young adult or an immature older adult. Cups are water signs. That's Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So this is feeling like a younger person that needs some attention from you or some advice. It could mean someone that is kind of pulling on your emotions or your resources as well. It does feel male, but I don't want to put a gender on it, but it does feel like somebody who is a little bit more emotional than you are and a little younger that needs some guidance from you. Or it can mean a child that is living off your resources that you need to let sink or swim, so to speak. So that looks like it is one of the main focuses that's happening. So someone is either coming to you for advice, help, or kind of utilizing your resources instead of their own. So that dynamic may need to have a shift. What is crossing you, or the challenge, is the 8. So it looks like you may have to walk away from something or someone that used to give you great joy in the past, but it has become a little bit more drudgery. Cups are emotions, so there's some emotions involved in here. The moon is lighting up for me. That is our darker side or our internalized side. So it does feel like you may be internalizing some of your emotions instead of speaking your truth. This cloak of red is here. When I ask Spirit what that is, it does feel like resentment and anger is building as you are internalizing these emotions instead of bringing them to the forefront so they can be resolved. But it does look like the emotions are stacking up here and that you're about to burst if you don't speak some of your truth. Speak your truth with love and kindness. No ego manipulations, none of the lower level stuff as you're communicating, but resolution is in the wind. It is there. It is in the air, I should say, not the wind. So the possibility of resolving these things is highly possible, but you must present them in order for them to be resolved instead of swallowing these emotions. That will cause dis-ease in your body, and usually dis-ease is manifested in either a physical disease or a physical manifestation, even a headache, ulcer. You can't even manifest cancer if you swallow your emotions so much so that it has to come out somewhere. So I encourage you, Capricorn, to speak your truth with compassion and love and kindness, and there is some resolution available for you, but it does feel like you want to run away. You just want to run away. So face it. Put it out there, what you need to put it out there. Bring the dark into the light so things can be resolved. The Page of Swords up here, this can stand for children. We make changes either in relationship space or job space, family dynamics. Our kids are affected, or the kids in the family dynamic are affected. Pages also can stand for messages, and swords usually stand for news of some problems or difficulties. It can mean someone engaging in risky behavior. So if this Knight of Cups, if this is someone that you're worried about, they may be doing some risky behavior that you need to speak to them about. I have a feeling some of this is reflected on this Knight of Cups, But it also can stand for your own risky behavior or difficulties or problems if you don't speak your truth. So stand up, speak your truth, bring the dark into the light, and make those changes that you need to. But if it is someone having some risky behavior, I encourage you to sit them down with love and kindness and tell them about themselves in the most compassionate way. Queen of Swords, this is an air sign. This is Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. This does feel like a person, someone that is maybe in need of something right now, maybe pulling on you. It does feel like you're being pulled in many different directions, Capricorn. Make sure that you can tell the difference between your needs and somebody else's needs, wants, and desires. It may be time to hand back some responsibility to these people that have been really either using your resources, your energy, but it looks like it's time to break away from the needy folks and let them either sink or swim, including this queen. But it does feel like you have had the conversation with the queen and that there are some changes happening. This can result in kind of a cutting or biting words. This sword can be, you know, like a double-edged sword, or slashing, biting remarks. So make sure when you present your opinion or present your take on things, that you use compassion and kind, loving words. We can't hear when people are yelling at us. We can only hear when someone presents it with concern and love. So keep that in mind. But this queen does feel also really needy and kind of a taker at this point. And so some dynamics need to change. But she doesn't know until you tell her. And we'll continue this until you tell her. So what is happening in the present time is a 7, and it does feel like that you're a little bit backed into a corner. Kind of the not dealing with things is creating some dissidence, and it's creating a little bit more friction, but it does feel like in some way you're backed into the corner. And maybe that someone presented something to you in a manipulative way and it's just feeling really uncomfortable. So it looks like the theme here for you, Capricorn, for the month of June is to speak from your heart. It's time for you to speak from your heart. Don't ignore the things that need to be discussed. Don't be afraid to bring to the forefront your feelings in the situations, even if it's uncomfortable. It does look like you are growing and you are healing yourself from the past, but to continue that, you will have to step into the truth and really open some discussions that are uncomfortable. And for those of you not in a relationship, this may be, you know, with work, with friends, with family, but there is an uncomfortable situation that you've been kind of avoiding, and now it's time because you're backed into a corner. You must communicate your desires, and then the change can happen. The 2 of Wands are here. Wands are fire. That's motion. 2s are balance. And it looks like you're looking at your future. You're looking at making some changes. Looks like you're upgrading some things. Releasing some things from the past that no longer serve. Could be habits. The legacy key is here. So family patterns that don't serve. Oh, this is the way, you know, the Smiths have always done it, and that's the way we always will. That stuff doesn't work anymore, especially in relationship space, interpersonal space. So it does look like you are making some changes from the things that have always been done this way. If you've always served figgy pudding with roast beef, you know, try something new. Try applesauce. So it does look like, and that's a silly example, but it does look like you are ready, willing, and able to make some changes. It also does look like you've got a bit of the travel bug, Capricorn, and either you're saving up for some travel over a long distance. It does look like something that you've wanted to do for a really long time. So you're looking at how to make that happen. And I'm feeling Europe, actually. I'm feeling Europe. So it may be a city in Europe that you want to visit or you're saving up to, or a family trip or something like that. But it looks like something you've always wanted to do, and it's a part of the healing process. So it may be visiting the homeland, you know, where your people are from, to begin your new legacy stuff. So that is coming up, but really you're finding your balance. You truly are finding your balance, you know, whether it's balance between home and work, whether it's balance between your children and your love life, or your relationship space or friend space. But you are finding the balance. You're actively participating in finding the balance. So create that forum to communicate those changes and your desires and needs, and being open and willing to compromise with your partner and your family to make that happen. King of Swords is the basis of all this, and this feels like there's something that you need to take the high road in. There's a king here, a king here, a queen here. So it looks like taking the exalted road to a problem, and this does feel like it's more work oriented. I'm feeling that you need to gain some more knowledge on a certain subject to either get that promotion or better yourself in some way, make yourself more visible at work, but to be acknowledged and recognized for your contributions. But it does feel like you are adding to your arsenal of information. The King of Swords also can stand for, you know, taking a step into your nobility, or taking the moral high road when others do not. So it does look like a challenge, and it does look like it's around work. So you may have to put out there the information that you have not in a while, or collect more information. This is also a collecting of information card. It is the 8 of Pentacles. So you many of you Capricorns may be going back to school, or going to a lecture, or taking a class for a day, but adding to your arsenal of information to better yourself, whether it's on the professional level or the personal level. And that looks like it's coming up if it hasn't already been initiated. So moving into the fears position and the frustrations is the 10. And 10s are the completion or the ending of something. So it looks like either a betrayal of the heart. It's a stab in the back of some kind. And actually it's feeling more on the professional level. So it looks like either someone took credit for your work, or you are not being promoted, someone's not looking at your contribution, but it really felt like a slap in the face or a stab in the back. But it also perpetuated you into making some changes, long needed changes. The King of Cups is up here, so you have one on one side, one on the other. It really feels like taking the high road from a situation, even if those around you are, you know, doing the lower level backstabbing, talking behind your back, manipulation, taking credit, stuff like that. But it really feels like you are to take the high road. King of Cups can be emotions. This also can stand for a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. But I'm really feeling like it's time for you to let some of your emotions out, let people see the intricacies of who you are, Capricorn. Stand up for what is right. Stand up for those that need some aid and assistance. But it does feel like taking the high road of a situation that's kind of been developing over the last couple of months and putting a stop to it. Put your foot in it. Put your foot in it. This has got to stop and speak a truth. So it could be folks manipulating time clocks at work, anything from that to taking credit for something they didn't do. But it does look like it's a moral code type of thing. You're getting angry about it. So it's time to speak a truth. The emotions here are kind of all wrapped up. but it's time to take the high ground. It also feels like there may be another opportunity for you, either in the business realm where you are shifting from one department to another, or maybe a temporarily learning some other tricks of the trade in another department and really adding to your knowledge. That's what it feels like. You'll be adding to your knowledge in the month of June, so you can better yourself, maybe create more finances. The Page of Wands is on one side, and I'm really feeling like this is a message. And wands are fire, motion. So this is an important message. It has to do with work, and it possibly can do with international travel. So maybe you're going to Spain or something to learn how to better yourself in this particular venue at work. But it does feel like international travel. It sounds like news of great importance and may have something to do with your work. On the other side is the 3, and the 3, body, mind, and spirit is the first thing that comes to mind, but taking an exalted step into your power, and incorporating a little bit more of your spiritualism and having faith in yourself. This can mean going back to church. It can mean finding a new way to express yourself spiritually. And it doesn't necessarily mean a God thing for those who are atheists. It could be just making time for you to go out and hike on a mountain if that is your Zen moment. Just making the time for you to gain more knowledge and to feel more grounded and to get in touch with your spirit, however that looks for you. But for many of you, it may be going back to church or taking a class or learning how to read tarot, something like that. But it looks like you're incorporating a little bit more motion, emotion, and intellect all at the same time. It's that 3. It's the body, mind, spirit thing. So this is a reading for June, Capricorn. I'm going to throw a couple of these angel cards here. These were gifted to me by a very dear friend. I don't use them that much because the deck is so large and cumbersome and hard to shuffle. So we'll just pull some out here. Balance, the Archangel Zadkiel. Zadkiel, okay. But balance, all right, that is looking like some of your theme here this month. And we have the 2 of water, so twos, balance, speaking your truth. So balance in the Archangel Zad, well, just Zadkiel, I think it is. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So that kind of validates what the main focus is: speaking your truth, cooperating, being willing to compromise, but really finding the balance in it. It's a little one-sided. It's a little off kilter right now. So you must speak your truth for the balance to happen. So the 2 of water, relationship that continues to grow closer with forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. So if you are in relationship, it could be a friendship, could be a family dynamic, could be a lover, husband, wife, but it does look like some communication and resolution of conflict is in the works. So please step up to the task, and it will be much easier to deal with things once that is resolved and off your plate.